Hello everyone, and welcome back to Borderlands 2 with Zeros and Jubo. So, today we're going to be looking at mission Rocco's Modern Strife. As soon as this thing freaking loads. We're also going to be talking about something interesting that happened recently. Oh, okay, so there's that too. I'm just gonna go around and pick up the missions. Anyway, so
I knew I had
recently,
the last of that gun. I voted off a guy a few months ago. Great gun, but first, I sold it to a guy that they bought it.
actually, I'm just gonna wait until these guys finish their monologues and stuff like that. Who? Home movies. Ah. Okay, grab that.
Great. Take that camera to opportunity. And, make sure you don't look at monsters' image.
Anyway, hell hath no fury. Alright. So, back to what I was actually going to talk about. Now, first off, apparently there was this large, massive march called March for Our Lives, which I read into the hashtag, read on the Twitter. I don't normally use Twitter at all, but for some reason the search engine took me to Twitter, so that's how that works. Is there any room left? No, there isn't. Crap. Let's see. Fuck. I mean, all of these are red text skins, so I can't get rid of any of them. Which sucks. Ugh. Anyway. And in my research, I have found, well, not to sound condescending, but what I found was, how should I say, unsurprising. I suppose I might as well finish the poetic license mission as well. Now, why do I say unsurprising? Well, to me, unsurprising means everybody's talking about, more gun control. They're talking about being inconvenienced by the protective measures that are being put in place. Some are wanting clear backpacks, some are wanting, to put some are wanting to put guards in schools, which I think is a good thing. Kiss my ass.
Look for you. Hey, you dumbass bolt on the pallet here, Brick.
Shut up, Rocco. All right, Slab. Hyperion supply just landed in our turf. Checks. Zap wants to destroy the supplies so we can...
Because, let me put it this way. The reason I believe wholeheartedly in the idea of, what is that? The reason I believe wholeheartedly in the idea of armed guards and actual countermeasures, stuff like that, instead of, you know, signs and gun control. Because, I'm going to put it bluntly, if you're someone who wants to be able to keep their firearms, they're not going to show up for things like background checks. They're not going to go for psychiatric evaluations. And they're not going to give up anything. You know, people with mental health problems, even just, you know, mild. I'm talking about the people with the mild problems, like my depression. Mine is relatively mild because it only acts up sometimes. But say that was enough to say, oh, well, you can't own a weapon now because you have this mild depression, which, ironically, my depression actually doesn't make me more violent. It makes me way more sedated. Why do I get the feeling that I would actually do better with my own gun than this thing? Anyway. So it could just be mental illness across the board. Well, people with more severe problems that actually do need treatment but want to be able to defend themselves still will say, well, no, screw it. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to go for this checkup or something like that because of the fact I know I'll fail and I'll have my weapons taken away from me. I'll have my means of self-defense taken away from me. That's what's going to happen. And then, of course, other law-abiding citizens are also going to be disarmed in this blanket, you know, crackdown on gun rights. And then, guess what happens? Criminals are all like, oh, okay, well, the law-abiding citizens have disarmed themselves. So, payday. That's literally what's going to happen, is the actual criminals, the people who don't give a damn about the laws, they're going to be like, oh, okay. Well, now I don't have to worry about actually getting shot at. So I'm going to go get a gun on the black market, and I'm going to go rob somebody. Or I'm going to go kill somebody, or X, Y, and Z thing I'm going to do because now all of you are disarmed. And that will happen. And, okay, fine. You're, what is that? Discomforted. You are, you simply don't like having to go for, you know, background check. I mean, not background checks. You don't like having more security in places so psychos can't actually try this kind of stuff. Or they're very much more how shall I say, they're very much more deterred from ever trying something. Because, let's face it, if I know, I mean, it's the same reason you have bouncers in a bar or something like that. You don't expect trouble to happen, but if there is going to be trouble, then you want there to be someone there to defuse the situation quickly. Like, I'm going to tell you a story, well, actually it's a story from my father, about his bouncer days. Yeah, my father was actually a bouncer, even during the 80s, so, whew, fun times. Now, what happened was, apparently, that this guy, he wanted to do some damage to a few people that went to the bar he was in. He managed to disarm the person, and this was a sawn-off shotgun, so this thing was gonna fucking kill people. Okay? There are rules. You can't bring guns into the bar. You're not supposed to do these things, but the guy wanted to do it. And because people like my dad were in there as bouncers, they stopped it from happening. Well, he stopped it from happening. Now, the guy was a freaking putz because of the fact that he wanted to go leave his gun at home and then come back for a drink, but you get the point. A person at the door, or a person that is vigilant, is much more likely to stop something from happening than a sign that's basically the equivalent of saying swipe or no swiping. I mean, we've already made murder, rape, and theft illegal, but people still do all that. So... ah, shit. Whoopsie. Alright. I'll go solve this problem too. Yep. Alright. Sniper time. And you're gone. I mean, it's very simple. If someone wants to do something bad to somebody else, they're gonna do it, regardless of your thoughts on it. Regardless of if, it's inconvenient for you or it's uncomfortable. And they'll go far outside of the law to do it. I guarantee you that much. You do not, and I repeat, do not protect people by disarming them. Okay, gonna have to go and Axeman this guy. I mean, that's just the truth of the matter, really. And I know you want to ban things like assault weapons, which, let's just be real here. The AR-15, it's a fucking sporting rifle. And compared to actual assault weapons, it's a piece of junk. Oddly enough, it's actually illegal already to own an assault weapon, so that's kind of a moot point. Hey, that guy's hurt. I mean, there are much deadlier weapons out there. I mean, even most pistols are actually deadlier than an AR-15. Have you ever actually, a question for you, the viewer, have you ever actually fired a weapon? I mean, I know I haven't, so... But regardless of that fact, yep. Regardless of that fact, have you, the viewer, ever fired a weapon? Just out of curiosity. And now that all that craziness isn't happening, I can unmute this. If not, then there is a good chance you probably don't know what you're talking about as far as, you know, lethality and weapons and all that go. I know that would be the case for me. Well, to some extent. I've studied a lot as far as firearms and, you know, different weapons types go. So say something like... an AR-15 or even an M4 carbine. It may be accurate, but they're slow firing because they are, what is that, single action basically, which means they're semi-automatic, which means one pull of the trigger equals one bullet flies out of the chamber and flies down the barrel. And the caliber of the round they actually use is .556, which is actually very small. Uh-huh. This should be good.
When you think murder, think Marcus Munition. Robbie on it, or a pleasure as always. Come back anytime.
Now, one thing that's always interested me is that people conflate, or should say they think that this thing, just because something looks scary sometimes, doesn't mean it is. And because something looks innocent, also doesn't mean it is. I mean, actually no, that's a stupid tangent to go on. I'm just going to stay on topic. My whole thing is that you cannot expect to actually solve problems by, or so you can't expect to solve crime by creating more laws, because criminals don't respect laws. They never have and never will. The only thing they respect is force, and if you have the ability to stop them from exerting their will onto you.
I was calling my sweet nothing to be right there back. Just 5 days to play first. Gotta wait for her reaction. So you hear me? Not to know how it went.
This should be fun. Alright.
Herein is Scooter's poem for you, Daisy. Here we go. Daisy, I like you a whole lot. More than that bandit Buxton in that robot. You are a diamond in the rough, or a flower surrounded by shrapnel and stuff. I will from my own tombstone, if within you I cannot put my gold.
Wow, this is really, keep on thinking.
Wow. I mean, I know, that's some dark humor right there, but... Oh well, everybody's a critic.
You didn't dig the poem, huh? I don't know. I thought it was pretty good.
You're a legend in your own mind, dude. Anyway. That was funny as shit. Wait a minute. Is what? Okay, I can ditch that, and I can ditch that. And I can ditch this. Not this. I mean, let's look at another example of something a bit, I don't know, minor. The ESRB puts ratings on, you know, different games. You know, M for mature, T for teen, E10, E for everyone. You get the idea. But, for some fucking reason, there are squeakers, which are freaking preteens, playing games like this, where shit like people committing suicide because somebody's flow is so bad happens. What? So, clearly, you know, little age restrictions and laws don't work. Let's see, the dust. Yeah, I'll go do that one. No, the only way to solve this problem is to basically say, you know what, we're going to arm ourselves, we're going to protect ourselves, and if you're going to try something, we are going to end you right where you stand. That's the only way to do it. That's literally the only way. Because it... Let me tell you a story. Obviously, because of a few of my flaws, I used to get bullied in school. So, what did I do to some of my bullies? Well, I tried it the teacher's way and just, telling on them and, saying I don't like it and yada yada yada. As you can probably guess, that didn't work. Now, why doesn't that work? Well, let's put it this way. Bullies know that what they're doing is wrong. They don't give a front-flipping fuck until somebody kicks their ass. When someone is going to do something they know is wrong, the only thing that is going to stop them is someone with the power to do so. Now you could say, well, I'll call the cops. Okay. At best, the cops will be, what, 15 minutes away at best? I mean, just look at this freaking game, for example. What I'm able to do in 15 minutes. I want you to time the next 15 minutes to see just what I am capable of. No. The Bane. Whoops. Alright, the next 15 minutes, just watch what I do. Now, granted, this isn't a fucking game, but at the very least you know, for a fact, that no one's actually going to get harmed, so it's good to know. But it's just to demonstrate the point that a lot can happen in 15 minutes. Hell, just ask anybody who's ever actually served in the military what can happen in 15 minutes. Now, in that 15 minutes, yeah, I could try and run and hide from the person with the gun. Or, if I have one of my own, I will open fire on his ass. If nothing else, it'll scare him off. And he'll realize, oh shit, I might actually get killed because this other person has a weapon and can defend themselves. Now, you can try and pretend all day that that little sign or those little laws that get passed are going to protect you. But just like that bully that doesn't, just like those bullies that don't understand, they shouldn't do what they're doing until somebody kicks their ass. Just like the person who's actually committing a crime knows what they're doing is wrong, but they still do it anyway.
But the curse frees me up. If you're hearing this, by McNally. He's left me for dead, but he doesn't deserve what the pain will do to him. Nobody does.
The only thing that protects your rights is the will to enforce your rights. Even in our modern society. Now, you may think that all of the measures that are being put in place are a little inconvenient, uncomfortable. Well, guess what, Snowflake? Life sucks. Okay, it is a crazy ass world out there.
God's coming to Lynchwood to buy it. That idiot's got no idea. You never believe the stories about the curse. Boy, oh boy, is he in for a surprise.
Anyway, that's all I really had to say on that whole matter. So, until next time, I have been Jaeger Bishop. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Do you think my views on this whole gun violence and how to end crime is right or wrong? If you think I'm wrong, please try and respectfully tell me why in the comments, and we can have a debate. Please do follow me on my various social media links, and do make a donation to the PayPal link is in the description below. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.